Chat. Now, I have the answer to this question. All right, I have the answer to this question because we've already talked about this before. Do trans athletes have an unfair advantage? Trans versus cis athletes. This is middle ground where they have the conversation and discussion about it. My answer is yes. They absolutely do. Especially when it's cis females versus trans females. There's a significant gap. Like the nigga... now when I say nigga, the race is interchangeable. Like the nigga who went into the girls' like weightlifting thing and then broke all the records of women's lifting and shit like that's like, dude, that's not fair, bro. But that's just my opinion.
Feel like Pharrell in 07 on my shoes, ice cream, make stars, stomp 'em out, it's a man down. What? Baby Milo custom PC getting fanned out. Not from the block, I'm from the H and we don't play around. Catch him at a red light with a nerf gun, we gon' spray him down.
Do you love middle ground?
Yeah.
I know I do. Did you know that every purchase made at the Jubilee shop helps fund this show?
What?
At shop.
What?
For you.
What?
Even with hormones.
Episode.
If you truly believe that trans women have an advantage, even with hormones, then that means you truly believe that trans men have a disadvantage, even with hormones. So the argument that you hear most of the time is against trans women. So does that mean that you're okay with trans men having that disadvantage?
Wait, what? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to understand what they said. Okay, hold on. I gotta hear the full thing when we get when they get to that discussion. Either way, yes, this big disadvantage. I don't give a fuck, man. Our big advantage.
Hi, my name is Howard. I've been a swimmer for 13 years, and currently I'm on the UCLA triathlon team.
My name's Jing, and I've been swimming for 11 years.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I've been playing indoor volleyball for 7 years. I've been playing beach volleyball for 3 years.
My name is Afton. I play women's flat track roller derby, and I've been playing since the end of 2018.
My name is Mac Beggs. I'm a wrestler. I've been in combat sports for 8 years.
My name is Sydney. I played tennis growing up for 13 years, and now I am a fitness coach.
Trans athletes.
Wait.
I play
for 7 years. I've been playing beach volleyball for 3 years.
And
Wait,
have
so
an unfair advantage. Step forward if you agree.
wait, so are these like? Is this? I don't know. Let's just watch.
Dante, this is a simple question. Nobody would want their daughter.
When you first think about...
I first read a story of a woman fighting a transgender and the biological woman got her head busted open.
Wait, what? This is a simple question. Nobody would want their daughter racing against a guy. I read a story of a woman fighting a transgender and the biological woman No. Yeah, in like the MMA or something. It was a trans female who went into like the MMA or some type of shit and fought a cis female and beat the fuck out of her. Like, that shit is what the fuck?
Chivo donated $5. Imagine Canelo goes transgender and fights some random female for gold. Twitter would go wild.
Like transgender athletes, I guess the first thing you think about is, well, biologically, transition usually happens after puberty, right? So if this biologically male athlete goes through puberty, he gets like better bone structure, he has all these skills that he enhances, all these muscle that he puts on, and then he transitions. Yes, your testosterone levels go down, but you're always just gonna have that like things that you've gone through like during puberty that you have after you've transitioned. So I feel like there's always gonna be that advantage.
I think it's dependent on the gender that they are transitioning to. For example, trans women do have somewhat of an advantage. Biological men are naturally born with higher bone density and larger lung capacity and a larger heart, and that's not something that can necessarily be changed with hormones. Of course, this isn't the same for trans men athletes.
For me, it's just on average, guys are
Spitting facts.
typically a little bit stronger, a little bit larger, a little bit taller. So depending on the sport especially, it can give them a large advantage when you're looking at something like that. When it's something like swimming, having that...
I don't see how anybody can sit here and say that it's not an unfair advantage, but that's why this video exists, and that's why I like watching these videos.
Ability to be a little bit larger lung capacity
Try to convince me, nigga. Try.
will overall affect that.
Can I have the disagreeer step forward?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Among cisgender men and cisgender women, there are naturally differences in their anatomy, in their hormonal levels, in their height, bone structure, all that stuff. Like any cisgender woman compared to another might have a different body type. Yeah. Some women are naturally very strong. If you take the advantage, which I think in most cases is the
$5. Bruh, these trans athletes are just bad at sports, even against women, and need an excuse. L.
hormones. And if you compare the blood work and you're just looking at that, if they're on the same level, in my opinion, there just isn't an advantage, because when you grow up playing sports, some people are good at sports, some people aren't.
The problem I see with this argument is that there's a large group of people that no matter what I do in a sport will always automatically assume that I have an advantage. But they're not.
Well, it's not really an assumption, though. That's the thing. You do. You literally do. We will respect you and call you whatever you want to, like, address you however you want to be addressed. There's no issue with that. But you have to acknowledge the fact that you do have quite an unfair advantage. It's not even about being respectful or being politically correct. You have an unfair advantage, my nigga.
Not taking into account hours that I put into practice.
And that's another thing. You don't think these women are practicing either? These cis-born women? You are a trans woman going into a cis women sport. It's not about, nobody's saying you're not good at, like, running probably, or jumping or long distance and all that. No one's saying you're not good at that. But we're saying even if you're not good at that, you're probably slightly better than the women. Just off rip. Then again, you know, I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure there's like one of the donations said, like, there could be a transgender female racing against cis women and still get they ass beat, bro. Still get they ass smoked, bro.
Brother with green hair look like they smell of feet and Cheeto
Jesus
dust.
Christ, Owen.
Hours that I put into weightlifting to become a better athlete. Roller derby is probably 90+% cis women. I get my ass handed to me. Like, yes, I am tall, and I can see that can be an advantage in some sports, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee.
This is the thing. That's because you're not good at it. That's just because you're not good at it. I am a male. I can play against, I can play one-on-one against a female basketball player, and I will lose 10 out of 10 times because I'm a bad basketball player. But you can't sit there and say, you can't sit there and watch, see? Men aren't at a disadvantage. It's equal all around. No, nigga, I suck at basketball. I'm just not good. She's better than me. She's just better than me, bro.
That I have an advantage.
Oh yeah. What we usually hear in the news and politics and stuff is about trans women, just because they're in so much prominence, because they are winning. Like, I can't remember what her name is right now, but she was a power lifter.
That's who I was just talking about. That's who I was just talking about. New Zealand weightlifter Laurel Hubbard, who competes in the women's 87+ weight class, became the first transgender woman to compete at the Olympics, bro. Transgender women have been eligible to compete at the Olympics since 2004 Athens Games, and the IOC most recent updated its guidelines for the inclusion in 2015, bro. NBC Sports. Homegirl hopped up in this shit, hopped up out the bed, turned her trans on, and beat all these bitches, bro. How was that fair, bro? But shout out to her, bro. A bag is a bag.
She is a powerlifter, I think.
What's up?
Dante biology is something people can't change. Men and women are different, and everybody with common sense knows this. Men are superior physical wise, and women are more emotional and socially, no matter how much.
Look, this is the thing though. When you say things like that, people just assume that you're sexist.
I think she went to Tokyo Olympics and she's transgender. And they're winning by like a large amount like of weight.
If you truly believe that trans women...
So you have to word it a certain way, bro. You can't say like superior, like the way you say superior, like, you know, that'll get you in a war.
...have an advantage, even with hormones.
JC donated $5.
Then that means you
I redact my last comments. Please don't cancel me, chat.
truly believe that trans men have a disadvantage, even with hormones. So the argument that you hear most of the time is against trans women.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you're okay with trans men having that disadvantage?
When I was like going,
That's the thing. Trans men, why do they have a disadvantage when they enter cis men's sports? Because those are cis men, and here comes a transgender man. It's literally, it proves this point it proves the same point in reverse. It's literally proving the same point in reverse.
through high school, I wrestled against females. I had to suppress both my hormones in my body, and I was still able to beat the men too, with my like levels low. Like, and I cut 15 pounds a week. Like,
Same, I retract mine.
that was crazy.
Yeah, that's
But like that's what I'm saying. Like the body is like a shell, and what we do every single day in the practices and the
23 donated $5. Imagine if Shaq went trans and went to the WNBA. If you really believe he wouldn't have an advantage.
like life lessons that we get, like living 40 years on this earth. You know, we just try to live life the best we can.
Yeah.
Trans athletes should have a separate category in certain sports.
That's how that's how I felt. Like, why can't they just do like have their own sports together? If they're saying that there's disadvantages if a trans man joins a cis man or whatever, or if a trans woman joins cis women, and they're saying that they're complaining about advantages, why not just have your own thing? Is that because it's fucked up to say, or is it like what is the reasoning? Explain to us. Like, why not just do your own thing then?
I don't want to say that they should be in a completely different category just because socially and legally, yes, they are.
That's segregation. Is it segregation? They gonna say it's discriminating? True. That's what I was saying. That could potentially be a problem. Anything that you do is just gonna be a problem. It's discrimination.
That gender that they transition to, and putting them in another category just seems, from hindsight, it seems wrong. But as an athlete, like in the sporting world, it just does seem a little bit unfair if you classify them under the same.
Yeah, because don't they do that for like isn't there? Yeah, they're doing that. They do that with people for disabilities, so that Yo, did y'all see? But did y'all see that one dude? Like, homeboy has like one arm, and he's like playing basketball, and the nigga's like really good with. He's really like breaking niggas' ankles with one arm.
Group, I guess.
Yeah, I think that there definitely are some sports where your physical ability makes a much larger impact on the sport itself. Wrestling would be one of them, swimming, track, something like that. But if you look at NASCAR as a sport, I believe that anyone can then go and do that sort of sport because.
Well, we all know women can't drive, so that I'm just. It's a joke, bro. Relax, man.
That's more of a technique. If you look at other sports like golf, it requires a lot of technique and a lot of strength. Plus, video games is now starting to make a massive rise. So all of those could.
Speaking of video games, bro. Speaking of video games, hold on. And there was an all-girls team. There was an all-girls team, like esports, I don't know, fucking video gamers or whatever. They played a game. Shut up, y'all. They played a game, and they beat the record of most losses in a tournament in a I swear I'm not making that up. It was like a documentary or some shit, bro. It's on YouTube, man. The shit is crazy. But yeah, bro, you know, things like that, I think that's where it really doesn't play a part, because it's like that just has to do with like thinking and hand movement and all that shit.
The environment you grew up in, because that's delusional. I identify as a 141-year-old Gumba, by the way.
Definitely have both genders in it with no problem. For swimming especially, if I were to decide that I would like to transition and then start all of the hormone therapy for a year or so, then obviously I would probably lose some muscle mass and I would slow down in my swimming, but I don't know if that slowdown would necessarily be enough to make it fair for the cis females that I'd be competing up against.
Oh shit, here we go. Oh, she got
The
something.
danger of it is that you're possibly outing somebody.
She about to snap. Hold on, let me go back.
I think it depends on the country, but there are some of biological women who aren't allowed to compete in Olympic sports due to having a naturally high testosterone level. So then trans women
in the
That
Olympics
literally
have to
makes
be
sense, though.
under a
There's
certain
cis male
amount.
league and a cis female league, and it would be equal to add a trans male league and trans female league.
That's how I feel. You know?
The danger of it is that you're possibly
Each
outing
donated
somebody.
$5. They
Outing
choose to
somebody?
enter. The disadvantage is their choice. If someone else has an advantage for being a trans woman, the other women are affected. If a trans man does, the other men are.
If a trans man does, the other men are not affected.
In
That's what I'm saying.
America alone, there's several places that it's still extremely dangerous to be an open transgender person. To say that you can't perform unless you're in this group, there's just a lot of safety reasons for that individual that it's not good. Second thing, where does the line draw? You're saying swimming, and you had mentioned earlier that like height was an advantage. Did I go through puberty as a male? Yes. But in order to say that I have an advantage because I was born with testosterone is the equivalent of saying that, oh, I went to this gym one time and I lifted and I had a protein shake, so I should never have to take a protein shake again because it's in my body. And the medicine I'm taking stops
what?
that testosterone. I don't have that anymore. Like my entire body, my entire mind, my entire way of thinking is different because of the medicine I'm on.
Are we going to start making categories for cis athletes? Okay, you're in a category if you're 5'9" and above, 5'7" to 5'9", 5'5" to 5'7", weights, like all those things. It's like, exactly where is the line drawn?
I mean, they
Because-
do have weight categories.
Well, yeah, for
They literally-
certain
yeah.
sports.
I was about to say, they
but
literally
I
have
think just
weight
generally, every person is different. And like you were saying, like the cis women that were getting cut because they're naturally, more athletic to some standard that's set. It's like,
Or even the varying levels of testosterone. Oh,
Exactly.
you're in this box, so now you're in this league.
yeah.
I wasn't by any chance trying to discriminate against them and try and put them in their own category
Yeah.
in that way.
The League of Legends girl team went 0 to 34 and got removed by Riot Games themselves.
That's the one. That's the one. It was League of Legends.
It was more just by a performance standpoint, we already
34 and 0. 0 and 34. 0 and 34.
Guy with green hair has less grammatical sense than Soldier.
It was terrible.
do separate everyone into their own different levels. You don't have Olympic athletes coming and competing at state club levels.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of trying to become a better athlete then?
If they're trying to work up to a goal, I'm not entirely sure.
So if you're good enough, you're going to be singled out and have to go. There's no proof of any trans athlete that is #1 in any category right now.
Yeah, that's because I think they're being held back so much by just like the media and everything that you don't get to see their chance to shine in that sense.
What would you guys say to like transgender people who transitioned before puberty?
In that instance, I think I would take a step back and kind of look at it more at like my own argument, like it was a scientifically based on like puberty and stuff. So I would like consider like that would be different, but my mindset just coming into this, I mean, I think that most people.
$5. Also for track 2, there have been transgender women going against cis women who have been training their whole lives and would lose to these trans women, and these cis women would lose college scholarships.
They would lose
Play
college
Slater93
scholarships.
donated $5. Bro in the white polo. Why he look like handsome Squidward with a full head of hair.
Go through transitioning like after puberty, or it's like encouraged
more
to.
common.
Yeah.
For me, it's more if they end up just fitting the category, regardless if they do it before puberty or after puberty.
Trans women think that their male privilege transfers. It always seems like the former males want their cake and eat it too.
If they have the right amount of testosterone, they did all the right testing all beforehand, then why not? Then you don't even need to separate them. They might as well just compete as a trans athlete.
Hormone testing is fair.
Hormone testing is fair?
Like the Olympics tests, college level tests. I know, like in Texas, at my high school level, the UIL organization, they tested, and you know.
Honestly, I would say, I would say if it has to do with the sports, then I guess it's definitely fair, because if, like what homegirl said, I took my hormones so I don't have testosterone. That's what the medicine is for, and all these hormone medicines are da-da-da. That's why I take them, da-da-da. So if that's your reasoning for why you should be able to compete with cis women, then they should definitely test to make sure people are still getting their hormone tests. Because otherwise, if you start losing, you'll just stop taking your hormone tests so that you get the testosterone back, or however the fuck it works, and then just outclass them in what they're doing. So I would say it would be fair to, do that type of testing.
No, it's to keep everybody safe, and I think it's okay to test for hormone levels, and if that's the ultimate, conversation here, is that we're looking in people for hormone levels as a
OMJC
competition.
donated $5. W stream so far, but I gotta get sleep, bruh. Good night, FNG.
Bro,
ImDontai.
you're gonna miss the games, man. And we didn't even check out the KSI video yet, bro. Stay your ass up.
Then why separate men and women? Why are we talking about men and women? We just strictly talk about hormone levels then.
Yeah.
So there is varying levels of testosterone blockers that you can be on. I chose to be on one of the higher ones, but I can guarantee you that someone like me is going to get less of a chance to be cut than a cis female, because my hormones will stay the same, whereas a cis is going to be all over the place depending on all sorts of variables.
Yeah.
I personally think that the hormone testing is really important, and just coming from like a fitness perspective, like fitness, bodybuilding, like that sort of athletics. For me, I take a lot of pride in the fact that my testosterone levels are within the normal range of a cisgender male. Obviously, performance enhancers, right? Steroids, extra testosterone, all those things are thrown around among cisgender men in the fitness world to, enhance our performance, get bigger, all that sort of thing. And for me, being able to say like, no, I am within the normal range of a cisgender man. The muscle I'm putting on, I'm naturally putting on. I don't have an advantage over anybody else that's in that normal range. So I think for me, it's just really important, because I'm proud of that. And I think if you just assume that a trans person has an advantage because they're taking testosterone, it's kind of like, well, what about cis men that take testosterone to get bigger and that sort of thing? So.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Testing for hormones is fine. The issue is what you're gonna do with that, because as I said earlier, it's really hard to put someone in a box, because there's always averages here and there for male and female, but especially when you start making your way up in the competition pool, those norms go out the window, and it then gets even more difficult to write legislation on what a male can compete in and what a female can compete in for if their hormone levels are outside of
This shit getting
this said
ridiculous.
box.
I'm fine as a trans athlete being tested. If I need to prove to the world that I'm the better athlete at the end of the day, go ahead and take my medical information. I don't care. I'm just trying to live my truth. That's all I'm trying to do.
A cis female that's
Imagine
competing in
this is the niggas gotta go through all this shit just to play a fucking sport now.
a high level of track might have a normal male testosterone, so now are you going to kick them out because now their testosterone levels are too high? And that's where legislation can get really difficult to write.
I am treated fairly by my fellow athletes.
Xoxo donated $6. If we have separate leagues for genetically superior groups,
I
there would be all
joined
black NBA, all white NBA, etc.
If we have separate leagues for genetically superior groups, then there would be all black NBA, all white, etc.
Roller derby only like 4 months after I decided to transition and get onto hormones. Everyone from the beginning was very accepting. Roller derby is almost too accepting from my experience because I forgot how bad the real world can be sometimes.
Dog, race doesn't make your racism is jumping out of that donation, bro. Race doesn't make you a better athlete, man. Those are what we like to call stereotypes, my nigga.
Not everyone is going
Who
to
donated
be,
$5?
but
They're telling me that the Taliban just took over Afghanistan and is allies with China and Russia and going stronger every day to take over the U.S. military, but the people in the U.S. are worried about the stupidest things.
Yeah, bro, why is the U.S. like this? I mean, at the end of the day, bro, the world is still going to continue. There's a lot of shit going on in a lot of parts of the world. What the fuck you want us to do, my nigga? Niggas out here are Twitch streamers. Some niggas work at Wendy's. Other niggas do Uber. We finna die fucking driving our car home. Or are we gonna fucking trip over a rock, my nigga? You want every nigga to... What are you doing? You on stream watching me debate about trans and cis athletes. And I don't even do sports, my nigga. What are you doing? I hate how people be trying to act like the all high and mighty person who cares about everything and donates to all the fucking charities, all of their money, all of their paycheck, and then get on other people when they're not doing the same. Like, somebody had donated, like, I forgot what YouTuber it was or streamer, donated like 20K to a charity.
Prodigy donated.
And people were in the comments like, only 20K? I know they make a lot more money than that. How much are you donating? How much are you giving back? Some of y'all niggas are hesitant to add when they ask you for a donation. Y'all look at the $5 like they tripping. And y'all hit the 99 cents. Y'all hit the 99 cents or nothing. Or nothing. So stop acting all high and mighty or above somebody, my nigga. If you think we all lazy and we not doing nothing over here, then my nigga Rambo, go be Rambo. Go over there and stop it yourself. Otherwise, if you're not gonna do it, sit your ass down and continue being an American or wherever the fuck you from, my nigga. Stop posing. It ain't gonna get no bitches on your dick.
Personal experience has been very positive.
Growing up, in my club, I trained with...
I wasn't just talking to you either, specifically, by the way. I'm talking to people that's just like that in general, bro. Because it's like, yo, when you give back, people have something to say. And when you give back in secret, people think, yo, this nigga never gives back to anything. And so they just assume that. And when you show that you give back, people are like, why'd you have to film it, though? Why'd you have to make a tweet about it, though? Yeah, cool move, but why make a post about it? It's like you can never satisfy the internet. So it's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Niggas want to be Superman so bad.
With my brother, and we were like kind of in the distance group, so it was mostly guys there, and they never really saw me as like she's a girl, you know. They just saw me as like another competitor, and it was always just fun, like racing, and like it just made me grow up love being in the sporting world and being competitive with everyone, so yeah.
I definitely get a lot of hate like online, but I've never personally gotten any
because niggas is pussy.
Like issues, like everyone that's in the gym is just trying to get better for the most part. Obviously that kind of communal idea is really like helpful as far as me not getting so much hate.
Lonely times.
Yeah. In high school, when I came out like prominently, everybody knew that I was trans, and there was a coach that exploited me in a lawsuit to try to ban me in high school. Yeah.
Sorry. Wow.
I was on hormone blockers, and it was suppressing my estrogen and testosterone. And even though everybody knew who I was, when it came to like after junior high, when he did that, it was so aggressive. Parents would scream from the stands that they wanted to hurt me as being a trans man, and just in my life in general, dude. My family doesn't come from much, and we work very hard, and I'm like the first generation to try to become something. So, I mean, the haters.
Yeah,
I
will. For you, man. Yeah.
Sports should be gender neutral.
What does that mean? What does that question mean, gender neutral? Gender neutral. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? Come on, somebody do an easier way, bro. I don't. Both can play? Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. No. Hell no. And entirely not. No. Like, you're talking about mixing them? No. Hell no. That's just stupid. That's literally dumb as fuck.
Your body's a vessel. It shouldn't matter whether you're male or female.
Until you get punched in the face in a boxing ring. And niggas be like, yo, was anybody surprised that this shit was gonna happen? Get him out, get her out of there, and send that nigga to jail.
Because I feel like the sport, like sports in general, is growing. Especially there's this like little girl in wrestling. She wrestled in the junior division and in wrestling and nationals in the 106-pound division. And she kicked all the guys' asses. Yeah. I was like, go for you. I feel like as the sport's growing, as we're evolving as a society.
Hey, so since he's male, since he's a transgender male, and he's saying like go you and things like that, isn't it technically, ain't that kind of gay? Ain't that technically kind of gay, bro? Hey, that's gay, bro.
Society, and we're being very progressive, that it should get to the point if we're talking about gender-neutral bathrooms, why can't we talk about gender-neutral sports?
I actually wrote.
Wait, but that's entirely different. That's just a bat. Even though I still think that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of weird. Just in my opinion, like gender-neutral bathrooms, both guys and girls are walking in the bathroom. I don't know, man, that's just weird. I wouldn't even feel comfortable going in the bathroom and seeing another girl because I just don't want to get accused of some fucking bullshit, bro. So I just wouldn't even do that. But that's another thing, like
2KTAI crossing airbody up and dunking on WNBA players.
And showed equestrian for 10 years, and I was like one of two men at the time. And then there are other roller derby leagues that are co-ed, and they work fine. Like women are going up against men, and they're bashing each other, and they're like going at it. There's a lot of things, and I feel like sports are one of these things where it's like it has to be this or it has to be that.
And I feel like it's gonna mess up. It'll probably like mess up a lot of things because like, what if y'all are like, what if a lot of dudes like hold back from, cause it's, you don't want to hit a girl, you don't want to hurt a girl, so it's like we playing football, like I don't know, it's like you don't want to slam a girl into the damn grass, so you probably try to slightly like push her down, and then now she's running for a fucking touchdown because she broke out of that shit. You're like, man, I literally could have slammed her ass, but like I would have been fucked up. I would have been fucked up. So it's like kind of weird, bro.
The same as gender. It has to be this or it has to be that, and it's not.
It is though. It is though.
For me, the issue that I would start seeing with this.
It is though. It absolutely is though. Because yo, you remember the video with the black dude where the white girl slapped him in the face and he wanted to punch her so bad and he held back. And it's like, yo, you could have knocked her out. Yeah, I could have. Yo, you should have. She hit you first. Yeah, I could have, but you know, man. And then her husband got up and swung on him. So he punched her first. Which is the best part, bro. Husband stood up and was like, hey, don't touch my wife. Don't even think about touching my wife and draw your hand to my wife. So he punched the black dude. And the black dude was like, all right, bet. Punches the bitch out and then punches the nigga out. It's like, yo, man, you did what you had to do. Like, respect to you. And then people are in the comments is like, he should have restrained himself. But then I like the fact that a lot of majority of the comments was like, I mean, what did she expect? He did the right thing, da 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 da. But it's like, yo, people are gonna look at you different.
Is when we start looking at scholarships. And for college level, if you start combining the sports by gender, then scholarships are always given to the top athletes.
And someone just said something about the scholarship. Somebody actually losing their scholarships and shit.
What happens to the females that now need that scholarship necessarily to go to college, but now you've just all thrown them into one category? It all of a sudden breaks that whole opportunity for them to maybe even go to college because now they've been training to be able to provide for themselves in college.
That's a good point.
And now, since it's all one level playing field, maybe they can beat the males, but on average, they probably won't be able to, especially depending on the sport.
Oh, W debate strat. I mean, like, you literally can't counter that.
Well, trans athletes aren't even getting scholarships either. I'm a two-time state champion in high school, didn't get a scholarship. I just now been able to get my scholarship 3 years into being on a male team.
Yeah, but we're talking like hypothetically in the perfect world if sports was gender neutral.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
Everything's hypothetical in a sense because we don't have enough analytical data.
I feel as though making all sports gender neutral in that way, there is still some biological benefits to being born a man versus being born a female.
I just can't get over the fact that there are going to be all these very obvious differences, not advantages, but just differences in if we had gender neutral
Advantages,
sports.
actually.
It's not going to be a co-ed team versus an all-male team. It's going to be a co-ed team versus a co-ed team. So I feel like there would still be strategy that
donated $5. Talk about peaked in high school.
you would have to be played into it.
I'm thinking more like individually.
Yeah, individual. And I could see like where you're coming from that. And you mentioned wrestling earlier. Just the whole combat sport community in general does have a long way to go.
Ain't no nigga want to get on in the ring. I mean, there's some niggas that are just weird like that. But ain't no nigga gonna want to get into an octagon and beat a bitch down. And have her draw blood. Like, we have literally been taught, do not ever put your hands on a female. Let alone put your hands on a female with intent to knock her out. I mean, think about just, you wouldn't even have to punch her.
Keem Plays donated $5.
All you gotta do is choke her out.
Even if gender-neutral sports existed, most women wouldn't even want it. None of them would be drafted.
I mean, yeah, man, yeah.
Definitely not completely supportive of trans athletes, but in a sense of like when I've noticed in just like studying of how like female athletes are and male athletes are, the best like MMA female athletes, cis, have male training partners. And most of the time, like, they're kicking their ass unless, like, they're training or unless they have somebody that's better than them.
I love these LGBT reactions you do. 'Cause my lady is a pro supporter. She's asleep right now, but when she wakes up, I can't wait till she argues at the TV at you and talks to me
about the subject when you upload. I love these videos, too, because I also, I get...
A Spanning women's team, playing in the top div in Spain. Lost 6-0 to the boys, 14-16 Y old team in that club. When you have such a big
difference, do you really want to combine? And if we do, is a female quote per team or the best gender or the best regardless of gender?
Because their body didn't develop as a man.
Wait, hold on. If a male transitioned after puberty, it wouldn't be fair for them to play with cis women. But if a male transitioned before puberty, it would be different because their body didn't develop as a man.
Florida boy donated $5. STG, it feels like the Twilight Zone that this is normalized in society. When I was a kid, it was none of this lol, and now kids grow up knowing this is part of reality.
Well, this is the thing that's going on. But yo, to Hollow, yeah, like I like doing videos like this because I like just talking about it, and I like learning. I like learning new things too because it's just interesting, and like this is the shit that's gonna be happening. But yeah, this is the world. This is what it is.
What people don't get is that there's no solution to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sports entertainment from beginning of time range from using strategy to savagery. If we came from a female-dominated species, we'd eventually end back here talking about this BS.
Push them, and then that's just making them a better athlete.
In my opinion, like kids are extremely accepting. I have two gorgeous kids, and it's so cool to have them play on a playground and explain to their new friends who I am, and like watch them do that. And their kids, like their friends, will be like, "Oh, okay," But you talk to an adult, and they're like, because you have this instilled, like what you were saying, this instilled education from the time you were born. That has basically said that, no, this is wrong. You have to have this group, you have to have this group, you have to have this group. Like, I do talk about it a lot with people.
This is the thing, though. This is why, like, I feel like the education part of it is good. Jesus Christ, that's, okay. That's why I feel like the education part, like, I know some people wouldn't be, like, they don't want their kids knowing about all this stuff, and they're going to try to suppress their kids from this and try to tell their kids, nah, this, don't even, no, da-da-da-da. But I feel like it's better to teach them all this shit while they're young. The nigga lying. It's like one of those posts where it's like, I just woke up and my son said, I made you breakfast because you're a queen and all queens need to be treated. It's like, yo, your son did not say that, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Don't nobody give a fuck about you. But look, let's say this actually happened, right? I feel like it's good if kids are educated on, like, you know, what's going on with the LGBTQ community and all that stuff, because it's like that way when they're young and they're taught about it and they're like, oh, okay. That way when they're older and then they see the stuff in life, they're not like, you were what? And now you're a what? They're just like, oh yeah, I remember that when I was a kid. So like, you still trying to fuck her? Like, what's up? Like, so it's like, it just be like shit like that where it's like not that big of a fucking deal, bro. And the roasts would be 10 times better, bro. Like, nigga, wait, hold on, nigga, I heard about you. You ain't cis, nigga. You ain't cis, nigga. Imagine niggas on the back of imagine elementary kids on the back of a bus. And it's like opposite now. Like, the trans kids are bullying the cis kids. Ain't you that one cis nigga? Hey, nigga, you still in the bitches, nigga? Couldn't be me, nigga. Imagine just being a cis nigga with your boring ass. It's like, hey, yo, what? Imagine just being born and like being cis. Like, and you just done. Nigga, I still got shit to do. It's like,
But I
okay,
have to understand
what
that
the
it's
fuck?
not my
Yo, mom, I got roasted. For what? They kept calling me sis. Like sis, like period? No, like with a C. I was like, oh, damn. What'd you say back? I couldn't say nothing back. I ain't know what to say. That's why you got to educate your kids so they got some good comebacks. May get them kicked out of some classes, but, you know, high key saying sis like that and using it, that should be like, you know, calling somebody like a nigga, bro. It's fucked up. Why you got to call me that? I can't change that.
Responsibility to educate everyone. Like, I have to be able to cross that line where it's like, mentally, I can't do it anymore. Like, I need to step back for a little bit. But like you said, like, ask questions. Like, if you're genuine, as long as I know it's not malicious,
Yeah.
ask a question. Don't freaking ask me about my genitals. Like,
Yeah.
that's none of your freaking
Be
business.
respectful.
Yeah, that
I
would
just
be
want to
OD.
know, like, have you guys ever had, like, you were talking about your scholarship. Do you guys feel like you have less opportunity in the sense of, like, competitions and, like, scholarships just because you guys are trans?
When COVID started, roller derby, since then, has not gotten back together.
Fucking COVID.
So I lost my sport.
Damn!
Which was something that was like really kept my brain in focus and like centered me. So I got into powerlifting. I lift because I enjoy it, but I don't even try and compete just because people are gonna like I don't want the backlash on it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's gotten for me to that point a little bit. A couple of years ago, it was like all too much, and it took my coach was fortunate and supported me through like my academic journey, and he was like, if you feel like you can't do this anymore, like as long as you got good grades, like, and you know, when we're being asked like in high school, like when we're like gonna be competing on a high level, you know, the first thing that comes out of a recruiter or a recruiter's mouth is, what are your grades, not how good you are.
I mean, I think I just learned a lot. Like, I loved hearing all of y'all stories, and I feel sad that you guys like feel oppressed sometimes and don't even try. You know?
I hope this educates people.
Yeah. I know.
Middle ground, like,
Good video.
Mic drop right there.
I think this was a good video, man. That was definitely a good video. Yeah, man, I don't know how it's gonna be in the future. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do in the future, how this shit's gonna be set up. I doubt it would ever be a thing where women and males all go against each other. Like, that would just be fucked up, man. I feel like that would be very fucked up. But you know, hopefully there'll be like a, you know, middle ground, you know. Okay.